Kansas City Chiefs at the New England Patriots. This was originally a Monday Night Football game. I believe this is the first ever Monday Night Football game flexed out of Monday Night Football.
And what a game to flex out.
Yeah. I mean, all the jokes where the Patriots are so bad that they flexed Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs out of primetime.
Right.
Yeah, but Mahomes versus Belichick, it's still somewhat intriguing there. The Chiefs are favored by 8.5 here in New England. Patriots coming off of their win against the Steelers. There's at least something to watch here. Kansas City's offense against the Patriots' defense. First time Belichick has gone up against Mahomes without Tyreek Hill. Remember, he used to always have a special game plan for Tyreek Hill. I assume that'll be allotted for Travis Kelce in this game. And so some intrigue there, and then seeing if, can Bailey Zappi, coming off a 3-touchdown game, can he put something together against a very good Chiefs defense?
Yeah, flex Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs, and potentially Taylor Swift out of Monday Night Football.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That might be the last thing. Like, a lot of people are like, that's the last straw for Robert Kraft.
You think this is what it was?
You got us flexed out of prime time here. We gotta change everything.
ESPN said no thanks.
Yeah.
Therefore, your time has come.
It's an embarrassment. We're out of here.
It's miserable.
Dynasty's over.
The dynasty's over. This was the moment.
Year.
This is gonna be a book written. This was the moment that Belichick's time was done.
Taylor Swift was flexed out
when ESPN said no thanks.
Chiefs are at 8-5 here. I mean, the Patriots are only 5 games behind them.
5 games, huh?
It's getting closer. Chiefs are 8-5. They got the 1-game lead in the AFC West. However, the rest of the Chiefs' schedule involves games like this: Patriots and Zappi, Raiders and Aiden O'Connell, Bengals and Jake Browning, Chargers and Easton Stick. Even though the Chiefs are 2 games behind the Ravens for the number 1 seed, I still think that number 1 seed is in play for Kansas City, because they could very easily win out here, go 12-5.
It is, but equally, this whole thing, like this season, the theme almost across the board has been nobody's hit on all cylinders, with I think the exception of the 49ers. Like even Dallas still has to work against the fact they got stomped by the 49ers. But like the Chiefs haven't been the Chiefs, particularly on offense. The Bills haven't been the Bills. The Bengals weren't the Bengals. Now they've been dealing with quarterback injuries. Like all these teams that we thought would be elite, true contenders haven't been. And for the Eagles and the Chiefs, the 2 Super Bowl teams, because we just saw them in the biggest game and one of them winning it, you're like, well, they're going to get there eventually, and they figured it out before. They'll figure it out again. I mean, we're running out of time, right? We've got 4 games left. It's time to figure it out. Otherwise, what are we doing here? So the whole Kadarius Toney thing, right, lining up off sides, it's kind of distracted from the fact that, again, it didn't happen. And then it didn't happen, and then it was highlighted by one guy making a, silly play and lining up offside. But, like, are we ever going to see this team figure it out? And, Travis Kelce's on his podcast, the New Heights thing, saying, we have the personnel. The guys here are good enough to win a championship, and all these mistakes are self-inflicted, and, we can fix this. I kind of agree. I think they can, but they're running out of time to actually do it. And this is another game where, the Patriots might be a bit of a laughing stock this season. They still do have a good defense, though. So
that side of the ball could be competitive, for sure. And again, I always view this when there's 8-9 point spreads. It's like, all right, how could you keep this close? Chiefs defense has not been great from a run game. They haven't been great stopping the run. They've been excellent from a pass game perspective, keeping QBs off balance, other than maybe Jordan Love a couple weeks ago. But if New England gets into that grinded out run game where Zeke's getting his 3, 4, 5 yards, playing good defense, you might be able to get a close game here. The Chiefs they've only scored more than 21 points in 5 games this year out of 13. And so, if you look at, a lot of people are talking about the Chiefs and like the personnel moves to put this group of receivers out there. It's literally Rashee Rice for Juju Smith-Schuster. That's the difference in personnel moves last year to this year. But last year, the receivers played better, and Mahomes played better, and they called better. Like, everything was better last year across Kansas City. They hit a couple little, bumps in the road here and there, but overall, it was a pretty dominant season for the Chiefs from start to finish. And so, and that carried into the playoffs. So that's the concern here, is they haven't figured it out offensively. I think Mahomes has certainly played better than the stats have showed. This is the first time in his career I think that's the truth, right? The first time in Mahomes' career, because again, there was a game against New England a few years ago where he had like a 45 grade and a passer rating of 110 because he had tap passes and yards after the catch and it's the first time in Mahomes' career I think he's playing better than the stats. It used to be the other way around, and I think that all can start catching up to the Chiefs, where the offense is just not producing, or maybe to that point it's like maybe they just start catching the ball a little bit better. I think the drops are still a little overrated. It's the down to down. It's not just one drop here and there. It's the down to down. It's just so inconsistent from a pass game perspective for the Chiefs.
But I think things like those, you've always sort of been of the opinion of things like drop passes are not a big deal. You can overcome those. The getting open part is more important. I think generally that's been true. But because of this current trend of defenses fighting back and offense becoming less efficient, any negative is becoming a bigger thing. Yeah. So I think taking a sack is a bigger problem than it used to be. Getting a holding penalty is a bigger problem than it used to be. Dropping a football is a bigger problem than it used to be, because all of these negatives are harder to overcome in the next 2 downs because we're already struggling to complete these passes. So I think we're in this world now where any inefficiency within your offense, and right now the Chiefs are dealing with them everywhere, right? You've got penalties all over the place from lining up wrong, or Jawan Taylor getting pinged for everything he's doing. You've got people dropping the football. You've got fumbles from receivers. Like, all of these things are happening, and they can't overcome them anymore the way they used to be able to. Like, Mahomes is not able to do that on his own, or just Mahomes and Kelsey, and eradicate all those negatives. So either they need to stop making that volume of negative plays, or something fundamental needs to change about how explosive they can be.
I didn't look it up. I apologize. But Mahomes' grade against the Patriots has not been great through the years from what I remember. They haven't played in a couple of years. But the grade itself wasn't great, but the production was good.
Right.
If that continues, again, they don't have the playmakers to overcome that. So there is a world where Belichick and New England have some success, and maybe they could keep this into a little bit closer game. So 8.5 here for the Chiefs in New England on the road. Another game where there's no weather, man. It's in the 40s, and it's clear, and it's fun. Normal football weather.
It's overcast.
It'll be overcast.
That's 8/8.
It's a dreary December Sunday afternoon.
It's not 0/8. It's 8/8 cloudy.
8/8 cloudy. Where are you going with this one? Chiefs by 8.5 in New England.
That's a lot of points for an offense struggling as much as they are. I do unfortunately think that Bailey Zappi will come down to earth and have some ugly turnovers, at which point that might be enough to cover it. So let's go with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'll take the Chiefs. I think that side of the ball, Zappi passing game against Spags,
Spags
could be trouble for the Patriots.